There comes a moment in life when you realize that the greatest battle you will ever fight is not against the world, but against your own doubts, fears, and distractions. In a world full of noise, comparisons, and endless expectations, the most powerful choice you can ever make is to focus on yourself. Because when you stop chasing approval and start investing in your own growth, you unlock a strength that no one can take away from you. Focusing on yourself is not about being selfish. It is about reclaiming your energy, your time, and your life. Too often, people spend their days worrying about what others think, comparing their journey to someone else's, and living in a constant cycle of doubt. But the truth is, your progress cannot be measured by someone else's achievements. It is like running a race while staring at the person next to you. You lose speed, direction, and even motivation. The first step toward real change is to turn your eyes forward, to look at your own path. Every person's journey is different, and what works for one may not work for another. The moment you decide to stop chasing approval and start discovering your own strengths, you begin to build a foundation for lasting success. This is not about ignoring the world, but about learning to listen to yourself. Your happiness, your goals, and your peace must come from within. That shift, choosing yourself, is where transformation begins. When you stop living for the validation of others, something powerful happens. You begin to see yourself more clearly. Self-awareness is one of the greatest gifts you can ever give yourself. It allows you to recognize your strengths, embrace your weaknesses, and understand what truly fuels your spirit. Without this awareness, you will always find yourself chasing goals that do not belong to you. Society, social media, and even the people closest to you may tell you what success should look like. But unless those goals align with your heart, they will drain you instead of inspire you. By focusing on yourself, you develop clarity about what actually matters. You start setting goals that match your deepest values. Whether it is improving your health, learning a new skill, or creating financial stability, each step you take becomes more meaningful because it comes from your own desire, not external pressure. This clarity is what keeps you moving forward with confidence and purpose. Many people fail not because they are incapable, but because they overwhelm themselves with the size of their dreams. They say, "I want to be successful," but they never break it down into manageable steps. True success is built on small, consistent actions. If your dream is to get a better job, then start with something as simple as updating your resume, sending out a few applications each week, and dedicating time to improve your skills. These may feel like small steps, but together they create unstoppable momentum. Each accomplishment, no matter how small, builds confidence and fuels motivation. The beauty of progress is that it compounds. Just as drops of water create an ocean, small victories create massive success. And when you focus on those small, realistic goals, you remove the pressure of perfection. You realize that growth is not about giant leaps, but about steady, consistent movement forward. One of the hardest lessons in focusing on yourself is learning how to say no. Many people struggle with this because they fear disappointing others, or they confuse saying no with being selfish. But every time you say yes to something that does not serve you, you are saying no to your own growth. Protecting your time and energy is not arrogance, it is self-respect. You cannot build the life you want if you are constantly pulled into commitments that drain you. Saying no does not mean cutting everyone off. It means setting boundaries that allow you to prioritize what truly matters. The truth is, when you honor your own needs, you actually show up more fully for the people who matter. Boundaries are not walls, they are gates. They let the right things in and keep the wrong things out. By learning this discipline, you reclaim control over your life and build the strength to walk your path with clarity. You cannot focus on yourself without taking care of your body and mind. Your health is the foundation upon which every goal rests. Without it, even the brightest dreams collapse under pressure. Taking care of yourself does not require perfection. It requires consistency. Eating nourishing foods, getting enough sleep, staying active, and practicing mindfulness may sound simple, but they create a powerful base of strength and clarity. When your body is strong and your mind is clear, challenges no longer feel impossible. Instead of breaking under stress, you learn to handle it with resilience. Your energy levels rise, your focus sharpens, and your confidence grows. Remember, self-care is not a luxury. It is a necessity. It is not just about looking fit or following trends. It is about honoring your body as the vehicle that carries you through life. When you prioritize your well-being, every other part of your journey becomes smoother, faster, and more fulfilling. Focusing on yourself often means stepping back from certain people or environments. Not everyone will understand your journey, and that is perfectly fine. Some relationships drain your energy instead of fueling your growth. If you surround yourself with negativity, criticism, or constant doubt, it becomes harder to move forward. Protecting your peace sometimes requires walking away. This does not mean you hate those people. It means you value your growth more than their opinions. Instead of explaining yourself to everyone, choose silence and let your results speak for you. The people who truly care about you will respect your boundaries, while those who do not were never meant to be part of your journey. Remember, you cannot fly if you are tied down by unnecessary weight. Surround yourself with those who encourage your dreams, inspire your actions, and believe in your potential. Growth thrives in supportive environments. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness, but it is one of the strongest tools you can use when focusing on yourself. In a world where everyone shares every detail of their lives, choosing silence sets you apart. Silence protects your dreams from negativity and unnecessary criticism. Not every thought needs to be spoken, and not every plan needs to be announced. When you stay silent, you free yourself from the burden of other people's opinions. You avoid the pressure of proving yourself to those who doubt you, and instead you become accountable only to yourself. In silence, you find clarity. You can think more deeply, reflect more honestly, and make decisions based on what truly matters. Silence allows you to build in private so that your results speak loudly in public. The quiet moments you dedicate to yourself often become the foundation of your biggest breakthroughs. Silence does more than protect. It teaches. When you are not busy defending your choices or seeking approval, you create space to observe and learn. You begin to notice patterns, understand behaviors, and gain insights that you would otherwise miss. You see what motivates you, what slows you down, and what triggers your doubts. Observation helps you build wisdom, and wisdom builds strength. The less time you spend talking about your plans, the more time you spend refining them. You begin to realize that growth does not require validation from others, it requires trust in yourself. By watching, listening, and reflecting, you sharpen your awareness of the world and yourself. This awareness allows you to make smarter choices, avoid common mistakes, and move forward with confidence. Growth is not always about action. It is also about observation and learning in silence. When you focus on yourself, you also learn the power of discipline over reaction. Not everything requires your response. Criticism, doubt, and negativity will always be present, but how you react determines your strength. Silence teaches patience. It prevents unnecessary conflicts and keeps you from saying things you might regret. True discipline is not in how loudly you speak, but in how calmly you act. Choosing when to respond and when to remain silent is an art that strengthens your character. By holding back your reaction, you conserve energy that can be directed toward your growth. The world may try to provoke you, but when you refuse to be shaken, you become unbreakable. This control over your emotions does not make you passive. It makes you powerful. The strongest individuals are not those who fight every battle, but those who choose wisely where to invest their energy. At some point, you realize that words can only go so far. Promises, plans, and explanations mean little if they are not backed by results. When you focus on yourself, you stop trying to convince others of your potential. You let your actions prove it. Success built in silence carries a weight that no amount of words can match. People may never see the long hours, the sacrifices, or the struggles, but they will see the outcome. And when they do, it will carry the authenticity of hard work. The world listens differently when your results speak for you. This is why silence is not about hiding, it is about preparing. It is about quietly building a foundation strong enough to hold your dreams. By letting your results speak, you turn doubt into respect and criticism into admiration. In the end, actions will always echo louder than explanations. One of the greatest distractions in today's world is comparison. Social media has made it effortless to measure our behind the scenes struggles against someone else's highlight reel. You see their success, their achievements, their lifestyle, and suddenly you question your own worth. But comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your focus, and your confidence. The truth is, everyone's journey is different. Some people achieve success quickly, while others take years of effort. Both paths are valid, because growth happens at its own pace. When you compare, you blind yourself to your own progress. Instead, measure your growth against who you were yesterday. If you are better today than you were yesterday, you are already winning. The real competition is not with others, but with the older version of yourself. By focusing on your own race, you not only preserve your peace, but also move with greater clarity and purpose. External noise comes in many forms and opinions, judgments, expectations, and even unsolicited advice. While some feedback can be valuable, most of it only clutters your mind. If you listen too much to the outside world, you begin to lose your inner voice. People will always have opinions about your choices, but not all opinions are worth keeping. When you decide to start something new, whether it is a business, a career shift, or a personal goal, there will be voices telling you it won't work. If you absorb every word, doubt will creep in and paralyze your actions. Learn to filter the noise. Take advice only from those who have walked the path you want to walk. Silence the rest. The more you control what enters your mind, the clearer your vision becomes. Protecting your mental space from unnecessary noise is one of the most powerful acts of self-focus you can practice. You cannot always control the people around you, but you can control the environment you create for yourself. Growth cannot thrive in constant negativity. If you are surrounded by people who lack ambition, complain about everything, or discourage your dreams, their energy will eventually affect you. That is why it is essential to build a positive environment. Spend time with people who inspire you, learn from voices that push you forward, and consume content that fuels your growth instead of draining it. Your environment is like soil. It can either nourish your dreams or suffocate them. By choosing carefully what you allow into your life, you create the conditions for success. Motivation is not always about willpower, often. It is about environment. Put yourself in places, conversations, and circles that align with where you want to go. That alone can accelerate your growth more than you ever imagined. Boundaries are not selfish, they are essential. Too many people sacrifice their own well-being because they feel guilty for saying no. But without boundaries, your time, energy, and focus are constantly drained by things that add no value to your life. When you are working toward a goal, it is okay to decline invitations, ignore distractions, and distance yourself from unproductive conversations. Boundaries do not make you rude. They make you intentional. They remind you that your time is limited and your energy is precious. Every no to distractions is a yes to your growth. The people who truly respect you will honor your boundaries, while those who don't were never meant to walk with you. Setting boundaries is not about shutting the world out. It is about creating space for the right things to enter. Boundaries are the fence that protects your garden of growth from being trampled. In a world filled with constant noise and endless distractions, mindfulness is the anchor that keeps you steady. Spending just a few quiet minutes each day with yourself can transform the way you think and act. Whether it is through meditation, journaling, a mindful walk, or simply sitting in silence, these moments reconnect you to your inner voice. Mindfulness clears the clutter from your mind, reduces stress, and allows you to make better decisions. It reminds you that life is not only about rushing toward the next goal, but also about appreciating where you are now. The more present you become, the more focused and productive you remain. Mindfulness is not about escaping reality. It is about engaging with it fully and intentionally. When you practice it daily, you create a deeper connection with yourself, and that connection becomes the strongest source of guidance on your journey. Life will always present you with distractions, notifications buzzing, endless updates on social media, constant opinions from others. If you are not intentional, you can easily drown in this noise. But focusing on yourself means choosing peace over chaos. Peace is found when you stop reacting to every outside disturbance and start guarding your inner calm. You do not have to attend every argument, prove every point, or engage in every drama. The strength lies in walking away, in choosing silence, and in investing that energy in your own growth. When you prioritize peace, you create mental space to think clearly and make better choices. Chaos will always try to find its way in, but when your foundation is rooted in self-awareness, it loses power. True focus is not about controlling the world around you, but about mastering the world within you. Too often, people chase a version of success defined by society, money, fame, recognition, without ever asking themselves if that is what they truly want. Real success is deeply personal. It may be building a peaceful life, raising a family with love, starting a meaningful business, or achieving freedom of time. When you focus on yourself, you redefine success according to your own values, not the world's standards. This shift changes everything. Suddenly, your goals feel lighter, more fulfilling, because they are aligned with your heart. You stop living for applause and start living for authenticity. True success is not measured by how many people clap for you, but by how deeply satisfied you feel when you look at the life you've built. When success is redefined on your own terms, you stop competing with others and start creating a life that feels right for you. Part 18T. The discipline of consistency motivation may get you started, but it is consistency that keeps you going. Many people wait to feel inspired before taking action, but waiting for motivation is a trap. Growth requires showing up even when you don't feel like it. Small, consistent habits practiced daily are far more powerful than bursts of effort followed by long breaks. Consistency builds discipline, and discipline creates results. Think of it like watering a plant. One big flood won't keep it alive, but small drops every day will make it grow strong. The same is true for your goals. Whether it's exercising, learning, or working on your dreams, it's the daily discipline that shapes your future. Consistency is not glamorous, and most of the time it goes unnoticed. But it is the quiet force that separates dreamers from achievers. No journey of self-growth is free from pain. You will face setbacks, disappointments, and failures along the way. But the key is to transform that pain into fuel. Every hardship carries a lesson. Every failure hides an opportunity, and every wound builds resilience. Instead of asking, "Why me?" start asking, "What is this teaching me?" Pain is not meant to break you. It is meant to shape you. The strongest people are not those who avoided difficulties, but those who turned their struggles into stepping stones. When you choose to focus on yourself, you stop running from pain and start using it as power. You learn that growth often comes disguised as discomfort. The very moments that feel like the end are usually the ones that prepare you for a greater beginning. One of the hardest things about focusing on yourself is patience. We live in a world of instant gratification, where everything is expected to happen quickly. But real growth takes time. Seeds do not turn into trees overnight, and neither do dreams. Trusting the process means believing in your efforts, even when results are not visible yet. It means continuing to work day after day without constantly questioning when success will arrive. The journey may feel slow, but every step is progress. Trusting the process allows you to release anxiety and embrace faith in your own hard work. You realize that consistency, patience, and persistence will always pay off, even if the timeline is longer than you imagined. When you trust the process, you give yourself the freedom to grow without pressure, knowing that what is meant for you will come at the right time. Your energy is one of the most valuable resources you own, Yet many people waste it on things that do not matter. Worrying about the past, stressing about the future, or investing in relationships that drain you only leaves you exhausted. Focusing on yourself means becoming intentional about where your energy flows. Instead of giving it to negativity, you redirect it toward growth, learning, and building the life you want. Protecting your energy does not mean isolating yourself. It means choosing wisely who and what deserves your attention. When you guard your energy, you show up stronger for the goals that matter most. You learn to say yes only when it serves your growth and no when it steals your peace. Your energy is your power. Use it with care. Growth often requires the courage to walk alone for a while. Not everyone will understand your choices, and not everyone will support your dreams. That does not mean you are wrong. It simply means your vision is bigger than their perspective. The path of self. Focus may feel lonely at times, but solitude builds strength. When you can stand alone without fear, you prove to yourself that you are capable of walking your path, no matter who joins you. Eventually, the right people will notice your dedication and align with your journey. But until then, you must be willing to take steps without constant support. Standing alone is not weakness. It is evidence of courage, determination, and self-trust. The truth is, if you can stand strong in solitude, you can stand strong anywhere. The only person you truly need to compete with is yourself. Focusing on others distracts you from your own growth. Instead, measure your progress by asking, "Am I better than I was yesterday?" That question alone is enough to keep you motivated for life. Growth is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. Every day you challenge yourself to improve, whether by learning something new, building a healthy habit, or stepping outside your comfort zone, you win. The race is not against the world. It is against the version of you who refuses to grow. When you become your own competition, you unlock endless progress, because the only limit is the one you set for yourself. Every sunrise gives you another chance to outgrow the person you were yesterday and to step closer to the person you are destined to become. A life without purpose feels empty, no matter how successful it may appear on the outside. Focusing on yourself is not just about chasing goals. It is about aligning your actions with meaning. Purpose gives direction to your days and resilience to your struggles. It is the why behind everything you do. Without purpose, even achievements feel hollow. With purpose, even challenges feel worth it. Living with purpose does not mean you need to have every detail figured out. It means you are moving with intention. You know what matters to you, and you align your choices accordingly. When you live this way, life feels less like survival and more like fulfillment. Purpose transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary results, because everything you do becomes connected to something greater than yourself. At the heart of it all, focusing on yourself is about becoming the best version of you. It is not about proving anything to others. It is about unlocking your potential, step by step. The journey will be filled with challenges, silence, discipline, and moments of doubt. But each of those moments shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and more resilient. When you choose yourself, you find peace, clarity, and fulfillment. You realize that life is not about racing others. It is about walking your path with purpose. And as you continue, your growth becomes undeniable. Remember this: every small effort compounds, every boundary builds strength, and every silent victory leads to louder success. The best version of you is waiting on the other side of consistency, discipline, and self-focus. If this message inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video and join us on our channel for more powerful, life-changing stories. Together, let's grow, rise, and become the best versions of ourselves.